Let's see if I got this now. Should be good. All right, looks like I got her down now. I think I got it figured out. So I am almost there. Give me 1 second. Just setting up, make sure I got everything running correctly. See if I see myself on here. Boom. Let's see if I got this now. I did it. Yay. We are good to go. And I got on early so I could give myself plenty of time to do that. Hey, my name is Mike Healy, and I want to thank everybody for taking time out of their schedules to jump on here. I've got a few minutes on here. And what I wanted to do, or before I get started, I got a few minutes. I want to help you guys get the best bang for your buck on this. Okay. So if you're already in the business and you're taking a look at this again, or you're checking it out, or maybe you've got some guests on here and so on, one of the best things that you can do to really maximize this experience for you and for your guests and get the word out quickly is you're going to notice under the video somewhere, wherever you're watching this, whether you're watching on your laptop or on your mobile device, you'll see a little share button. You can click share and share this, and this actual live presentation will then broadcast live on your Facebook timeline. Some of you I know are watching this through Zoom, so we have both channels going on at the same time, but I'm primarily talking to everybody that's popping on. I see people coming from all over the world right here. I see it, Sydney, Australia. I've seen the Philippines on here, obviously United States, where I'm at, but a lot of it's just going to come up. The other thing, if you're watching this recorded, because this is typically recorded, one of the easiest and most effective things that you can do is when you have a live video on Facebook that has been recorded, you'll see that, so-and-so went live or something like that. You can actually create a watch party. You'll see that under kind of in the same area as the share. After it's been recorded, you can click it. And so if you're watching this a day from now or a week from now or 10 days from now, whatever it might be, you can actually click a watch party and it will look like it's being broadcast live right to your timeline, which is pretty cool. So myself, what I like to do is I will share these videos myself multiple times in private, in groups that we have. I share them on my timeline. I share them on my profile page and so on. And a lot of people get to see this presentation as we do this, okay? So I'm gonna let everybody roll on here. I'm probably gonna start in about 2 minutes, and you're gonna love it due to the fact that I talk very fast. I get straight to the point. I don't mess around. That's just my MO, and I'll try to slow it down in the points that I think are very, very important. But I'm going to give you a flow here. And first off, if you're a guest and you're watching, you're here, if you just give me a few minutes of your time tonight to try not to be, please don't try not to be distracted. You're going to be very excited about what I go over with you, okay? Because this thing is really, really going just incredibly. And I'm not a hype guy, okay? So the good news is I'm not going to hype you. You're adults. I'm adults. I'm an adult. We're all adults here. I'm just going to speak to you from the heart. I'm going to speak to you so that you can actually make an educated and informed decision whether this is something you want to pursue, be a part of, or pass on, okay? There's nothing wrong with that. I think it's fair to say that we'll all still be friends if this isn't something you'd like to do or you just don't get this business. That's quite all right. Everybody should still keep their relationships intact. I'm watching my, if you see me staring down this way, I have my cell phone with the Facebook Live on here so that I can keep track to make sure the slides come through and everything like that, that we're good to go. So I'm going to give this about probably maybe about a minute and a half to go through here and, get started. Real quick, before I actually officially launch, I'll tell you just a little bit about myself. I'm located in Columbus, Ohio. I'm married. I have 3 kids. All 3 did live here about a year ago. My middle son moved out about a year ago. And just last week or 2 weeks ago, in fact, I had the pleasure of marrying off my daughter. Sadly, a little bit. I mean, I was excited for her, obviously, and her husband's phenomenal. But when you have to let your little girl go, and it was amazing. Now the cool part is this this is a testimony of the effectiveness of this business, iBoomerang, both from a product standpoint and a business standpoint. Is, get this, I was able to do a destination wedding, pay for everything with this destination wedding for my daughter for a group of 19 people in Italy. Okay. So, you know, and that's, I'm telling you, that's not cheap, but 100% of the money that went to pay for that wedding came from earnings from this little side gig, this little hustle, I guess you could say, which is kind of remarkable. So that's another thing. On the other side of this, you're going to see that obviously I talk about the travel aspect of this. We've saved probably between myself and the rest of the parties that attended that wedding in Italy, from the hotels, the rental facilities, there were thousands of dollars saved that would have normally been just burned, right, because of it. So I have I think that's a very powerful testimony, just straight out of the gates for what we've got going on here. So all that being said, I started 2 after. That's just my MO. I don't know why, but that's what I stick to. I see a ton of people on it going on here. And again, you can watch the replay after this is done. It will be posted, or the replay will be live, ready to roll literally within a minute or so after I've completed this, that you can watch it on the iBoomerang Facebook page. And again, like I said, if you're just joining me, make sure that you click the share button, share it to your group, share it to your Facebook wall, share it to your business page, whatever it is. And if you're watching this as a recording, or you want to come back to this tomorrow and share this, feel free to click on the share button. And at the bottom, you should see the notification. You can create what they call a watch party. Okay, so wanted to give you a little bit of training. It's going to help you to really advance with this. So all that being said, let's rock and roll. Okay, so first off, I got the swag commercial going on. I got my iBoomerang mug, and the recent launch this past weekend down in the Miami, Fort Lauderdale area. iBoomerang purchased quite a few months ago a rideshare company, and they called it Vibe. Okay, it is now just open in that market. I'm not going to cover a tremendous amount on Vibe today, but when I go through this presentation, I want you to think about a few things here. Okay, what I'm going to show you is the ability for you, if you're a guest, is to earn pretty good amounts of money, or significant money, if you choose to effectively work this thing. This is a business, by the way, to supplementing your income with verticals, is what we call business services and so on. We call those verticals that people use pretty much habitually on a regular basis, a considerable basis. And we are not just a travel company. We are a technology company. I think this kind of re-emphasizes that fact, that we're not just stuck in the travel corner, that this is just the beginning of what we're going to offer. I know that we've already announced Boom Mobile, which is a mobile cell phone service coming out, and other services are already in the works and in the pipeline. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give the presentation here. Let me jump on here and show my slides. Okay, I should be able to pull this up, and I got to go full screen for you. Let me just double check that it comes up. You should see me in the top right corner, but I'm going to go through the presentation. I just double checking real quick, watching it. It pops up on my phone. Should be good to go. Looks like I am. All right, excellent. So real quick, since I'm going to talk about this as a business, and like I said, I talk fast, but I'm sure you can listen fast, that this is a business, okay? There are no guarantees implemented or implied or guaranteed that you're going to make any money if you don't do anything, okay? So you can read this if you want to, just to make sure you're well aware of that. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you is, regardless of your background or your previous experience of any kind in the direct selling or network marketing industry, I want you to set that on a shelf temporarily, okay? Now, I'm going to give you, the reason for that is this. I'm going to show you something that you have never seen before, okay? And like I said earlier, I am not a hype guy, okay? The majority of people that are taking a look at this business are getting involved. We are growing at an extremely rapid pace. There's nearly 50,000 people who have joined our company already as what we call TSAs. We've acquired over 300,000 customers. The company has paid out nearly $17 million in commissions. And our official launch was just over 90 days ago. Okay, think about those numbers right there. Okay, there's a reason that we have growth like this. We're in, I believe, close to 120, 130 countries that this business can be a part of. And I will tell you honestly, for myself, I have built this business, and built a pretty good one, primarily from the comfort of my home. Okay, when just doing it here and there. So regardless of what your past experience is in network marketing. So let's talk about some of the things right now. The big thing I want you to focus on and think about is what we call the PRIB. Okay, you're going to hear this a lot if you're part of our company, called the power of the PRIB. They jokingly say it, but it's a PRIB stands for perpetual residual income builder. And in most cases, in normal companies, you may make a residual, but typically they're not compounded the way we have it set up with these other services that will be able to be implemented, into the same existing customer base. Okay, so let me jump into this. The old model of networking is typically this. Okay, you're usually introduced to a product for an issue you didn't know you had, and the product is usually jacked up in price from where you could go buy it at CVS up the street or Walmart up the street to justify paying commissions. And usually only the strongest recruiters win. Okay, and and that model works, believe it or not. Okay, I've been in the industry, the networking profession, for over 20 some years, I think around 23 years, and I've done very well. I've earned multiple seven figures in this. I've raised my kids on it, my wife, the whole nine yards. I got my whole family, has been in existence because of networking income. Okay, but it's been very tough, and I think what's so unique is the way the new model has shifted to with our company. Okay, Halton Bugs, the owner of our company, is the single largest, probably most successful, history income earner in our profession of all time. I know that from the one single position, he did it faster than anybody else. Generated, he's built organizations into the millions. His organizations have done in the billions. And when he launched this, here was a guy that had significant experience in the field, that obviously knew every aspect of it, from the bottom to the top. Okay, so let me stay on track here. Okay, now in our new model, here's what's really unique. Is this model, we make money, or you make money, when people save money. Okay, now think about how easy most companies, you're taught to sell stuff. In this, you're not taught to sell stuff. You're taught to give things away for free. Okay, and I'm going to cover that. Now, our flagship product that we're bringing our travel, or our technology to the world, is through the travel space. Now, the reason travel is probably our flagship, I guess you could say, and the easiest thing to create a conversation with, really, is due to the fact that it's so massive and there's so much money in it, and everybody wants to do it. Okay, it's an $8 trillion industry, trillion with a T. You and I cannot possibly comprehend the size of that money, right? The question is if you have the opportunity to tap into it, how big of a slice of that pie do you want? I mean, most people could just earn off of, basically an aroma of that. Okay, you don't need to have a big slice of a multi-trillion-dollar pie to make money. Now, what I'm going to show you is this: is that the travel industry has actually been monopolized, and almost there's kind of a shell game going on between two major monopolies, Booking Holdings and Expedia, that own all of the the recognized name brand travel sites, or travel platforms, or portals, as you might say. Okay, and what happens, as an example, if you look over to the right there, Expedia Group, the shell game, the reason I call it a shell game is this: they're doing a thing that monopolizes their industry called parity and markup. Now, I had to actually look up the word parity, but it basically means the same. Okay, now what happens is they might take, because Expedia Group owns those companies under there, right there, the Travelocity, Orbitz, Trivago, Hotwire, car rentals, and hotels. What happens in the travel space is this: is, let's say Travelocity puts a hotel on there for $300, but Hotwire lists it on their site, their portal for $290. You think you got a great deal because you went to Hotwire. The problem is that you didn't get a deal because Expedia still bought everything in the inventory from, like, let's say the Marriott at a very, very low discounted rate, but they basically shell game it to where it looks like there's savings. Okay, it's pretty tricky here. The big point that we have, though, is we have separated ourselves and partnered with a company called Extreme Travel, which is a 16-year-old company that has won all the major awards out there for their travel agency. And we have all of the same, basically, the same inventory that they have. Okay. Now, what happens is this, is we have the ability to offer customers a free travel booking platform, basically giving them backdoor pricing, like 5-star places for 3-star prices. Okay. And we have the ability to give those to people to set up free websites and become a free member. And what happens is where it benefits you is because our company does not have to spend the millions of dollars in daily advertising that all those other travel platforms do to acquire customers. We pass on through the savings. 50% of the savings goes to you. 50% of the savings goes to you. Okay. So let's think about this. Think about the side gig here, the hustle that we've got going on in a good way. I'm saying that, a lot of people use that phrase nowadays of, getting your side hustle on to generate an extra income. I mean, think about how hard it is these days to create a secondary income, or what are your real options, okay, without having to quit your, get another job, change careers, or become some kind of internet whiz, right? We have a better model. Now look at this. These are actual booking, or these are actual examples from our booking engine. The iGo platform is what we call it. An exact New York City hotel. Now here's this. On my way to Italy from Columbus, I had to fly to New York. I stayed in Manhattan, right up the street from Times Square. I personally saved $267 off of the booking that I did at a Holiday Inn Express right there. It was pretty cool because it was just right there. And, I literally walked out and I walked a couple blocks and there was the, Times Square. A block up there was, Macy's, and it was the same week of Thanksgiving. So the Macy's Day Parade was getting built there, the stage. And I was so cool because I looked at this and I was like, this is amazing. And that place was packed because obviously everybody's coming in for the parade and things like that. But these actual savings right here is, think about this. If let's flip this for a second. Let's say you decided that you wanted to be a part of this and you became what we call a TSA. And you told me about this backdoor pricing scenario that I could get potentially a better discount. And I go on the site and I do an apples to apples comparison. And I go to this New York City 4.5-star hotel and I save $161, but instead of paying $339, I paid $178. You, because you referred me as a customer, would split the 50% of that, $161. So 50% of that would go to you in the form of a commission. What did you do? You literally, all you have to do, and I'll reemphasize this a couple times and speed this up a little, is all you have to do is give me a private access code that is to me. You just tell me about this. I go to the website. I go to IGOBOOM.com. I punch in the code, and boom, I set up a little profile, name, address, phone, or name, email, phone number, that kind of thing. And I instantly have access to this portal that some companies could pay, tens of thousands of dollars to get. And we have the ability to do that. Same scenario here with the Paris hotel. You can see that on there. It's been on the screen long enough. We also have rental cars. Okay. Guess what I had to do while I was not in New York, but I had to rent a car when I landed in Rome. I had to rent a car from Rome to Florence, or actually I had to drive to Sancropolco or something like that. I can't remember the name of it. And then from there, I had to drive to Florence. Okay. And I saved money on it. Here's some examples. I'm a living example. I experienced this firsthand. just in the last couple of weeks. And I'm telling you, it was a tremendous help because that wedding in Italy was not cheap. Okay. But you can see this. You would make everywhere I show you savings, picture yourself making 50% of that. What if you referred these? These are what they, when you actually book something, you'll actually get an email that you can see, and it will show you exactly what the cost of your hotel was, exactly what your savings is. In a lot of cases, you're going to see also what your reward credits are, which go towards other, hotel rentals and stuff like that. You can redeem just like cash. Every one of these savings scenarios here, the 848, the 532, nearly 1,000 and the 1589. If you referred somebody that all they did was totally free to be a customer, redeemed a code, they went to the website, redeemed the code, became your customer, found something they were going to spend money on anyway, and save money, you make 50% of that. The biggest objection I usually get when I explain this to people is it's too good to be true. You're right, it is. Okay. But if you won the lotto, would that be too good to be true? Yep. But would you be dumb enough to rip up the ticket? No, you'd figure out a way to probably cash that in. Okay. The other thing too is we have all of these other services. Okay. Now I'm going to expand on a lot of this as I go. Okay. But we have everything: hotels, rental cars, cruises, flights, homes, weeks, marketplace, timeshares, and you can see all these under there. And you can feel confident still even more of giving away your free service, your free website to people, because there's a price guarantee of 110% of the difference if they find a lower price online anywhere else. It is an absolute no-brainer what we're doing here. And that's why we've acquired over 300,000 customers so quickly, okay? The play on words with this is why our company is named IBUUMERANG and has boomerang logos. Everybody knows what a boomerang does, right? You throw it out and it comes back. The whole play on words here is we throw out savings and money comes back, okay, to the form of you, okay? Now, literally you're getting, and I've covered this a couple times, so we're skipping that slide, but real quick, 2 ways that you can become involved in our company. Remember, I said we're not a travel company. But I need you to understand the model here first before I expand on some of the other stuff and really blow your mind. And I apologize. You're not going to be able to sleep tonight if you're in the United States. If you're on the other side of the world, you're going to be up all day. Okay. You're already probably up all day. TSA member sites, if you decided to do this as a business and become a TSA member, you actually get a deeper discount on the savings. If you're just a customer, what that savings goes to would then be paid out as in commissions. Okay. So you can kind of see this slide right here. Your customer saves that. You would have gotten a travel bonus of that. Okay. Real simple. Now let's talk about this. Okay. Now I'm going to begin to expand on this, to really help you to understand how simple this model is. You do have to do some work, obviously, but to supplement your income with something like this. Okay. Just think for a second. Let's say you decided that this made sense. You jumped on board, you became a TSA, and you went out and you randomly, just about your day, you were doing your normal life, ran into some people, you started having some, let's say, holiday conversations, and you're talking to Sister Susie, and Sister Susie is telling you about how she's getting ready to go to fly to California, okay, to go visit relatives. And you tell Sister Susie, hey, I don't know if you'd be interested or not, but I just came across a travel platform that allows you to, basically do a apples to apples comparison and usually save a significant amount of money. Not real hard. And she says, well, how's that work? Well, Sister Susie, all I got to do is give you a code, and here's the website link. You just text it to her, set it up. You go into your back office, create the code. You send it to Sister Susie. When she does that, she's your customer. And from that point on, Sister Susie is your customer for life. Because what we're seeing now is all these customers that have been acquired over the last few months that have used this platform have had very, very good experiences. And they are now continuing to use that platform. In a lot of cases, they're ramping up their usage. They figured out that, hey, I can rent a car, get a flight, and a hotel on the same platform. And all these points add up, and I can use it towards excursions, or I can use it towards weeks, or I can rent this massive hotel in Maui. Okay. There's all kinds of cool things. I'm just giving you the surface of this. Okay. Just the surface. But let's say you decided that Sister Susie and 9 other people, you did the exact same thing, gave them codes. Okay. They're saying, based on the statistics of all the stuff that's been going on with the company, that a person, a single customer, will probably average about saving about $600 per year. Very simple, not extravagant, not over the top, totally believable, correct? If that's the case, 10 customers at $600 per would be a total annual savings of $6,000. That means that if you get 50% of the savings, that means right here, I'm pointing to it on the left, is that you would put $3,000 in supplemental income into your pocket that year. Do you know how hard it is these days for people to supplement their income by $3,000 or the things that they have to do? And all you did was share something with somebody on something they were already planning on spending money on, but you just gave them a benefit. You helped them out. Okay. What if you got a little more, moderately, and over a period of time acquired 100 customers? And we have a lot of people in the company that have now acquired 100 or more customers. It took at the event this weekend, they had I think they had between people that had acquired 100 to like 400 customers walk across stage, and it was like this. They were walking like that fast, and it probably took 15 to 20 minutes. And I mean, literally like half the room that was down there, because there was a few thousand people down there. It was amazing. I got to go across the stage and so on. But 100 customers just acquired by that with the same savings. Look at that right there. All you did is ask somebody if they'd be interested in trying something else. I mean, it's just literally like this. You just here's this piece of pizza or this piece of pizza. Which piece, taste one and see which one you like better. Let's use the gasoline station example. If you know that gasoline is exactly the same, and you see it here at the corner for $2.30 a gallon, and here for $2 a gallon, same gasoline, which one are you going to go to? It's not rocket science. We're just giving people an option. What if you got aggressive with this thing? We actually have, I think, 2 people in our company now who have personally acquired over 1,000 customers by just giving away these free codes. All they did was give away these free codes and have acquired a customer base that's done this. Okay, now let me rabbit trail for just a second. Okay, that's a lot of money, right? That's decent income for just doing what I just said. But you see, remember I talked about this at the very, very beginning. We just rolled out a rideshare company. We have a mobile service company about to be launched here shortly. They already made the announcement, so I'm not speculating that. That's a fact. But what's going to happen with these customers is each customer is not just going to be a single income stream for you. Each customer is going to be multiple streams of income for you. Multiple streams of income for the same customer because of the different services and offerings that we are giving them. This is like I said at the very beginning, not to think we are a travel company. We are a technology company. The phrase you're going to hear also plenty of times is that we're using an Uber philosophy with an Amazon technology for customer acquisition. I do marketing also on the side, like pretty high level stuff. And when I heard of that model and I understood these types of things, that's why I dove in. I didn't just put my foot in the water or toe in the water. I dove in deep end, no water wings, no, the floaties. I was going for this, and I would highly recommend that you think about this, okay? Because each customer is going to be multiple income streams for you on services that you're not going to have to pitch them on, because once they're in the database, back to the Amazon technology, the company will contact them. The company will help sell those customers on things. You don't have to do it. You just have to get the customer a code, get them in your database, and they're your customer for life. Okay. Guess what? We have another aspect of this. There's a lot of money and great supplemental money that someone could make by acquiring personal customers. And you never actually have to ever build a team. You know, you never, like in most network marketing companies, you have to go recruit. You don't necessarily have to do that if you don't want. I think it makes sense to do that because of this. You also, the model that we have is, this is the reason network marketing has always worked, is because it's the easiest way to bring a product or service to market, to acquire customers first before advertising dollars are ever spent. That's the brilliance behind networking. The problem is the old model is, it doesn't work like it used to back in the day. Okay, there's a lot of companies that are still in a blockbuster philosophy in a Netflix world, right? They're not out there doing it like they're supposed to doing. Halton and the team with all those guys and all the people that are on board are brilliant when it comes to this. These guys are high level. Okay, high level. The team builder model is simply this. Let's say you've just decided to be a TSA. You've acquired a handful of customers. You ran into me and you say, hey, Mike, you're a sharp, smart business professional, right? I say, yep, sure am. Say, I got something for you to look at. I watched this presentation. Makes sense to me. Acquire customers for free, build a customer base, let the company monetize those. Each customer can become multiple streams of income. Sounds like a win-win-win-win-win to me. I join. When I get a handful of customers that you have no idea who they are, you have the ability to get paid on those customers' savings as well. Think about that for a second. Here's the example. What if you got a couple people who got a couple people and so begat so-and-so, and you build a team of just 50 people that each just got 10 customers? That's 500 customers that you would have in your organization, your team, whatever you want to label it, that you didn't know about. This is totally separate. That's totally separate from your personal customers. 500 customers that were acquired because other people were just trying to supplement their incomes. And with the same savings, here's the cool part. Nearly all of that $600 actually gets paid what we call generationally above, in a form of overrides and so on, that they pay out 10% of that. Look at that right there. On a team of 50, 500 customers total, that's an additional 20,000 based on that model right there. Like I said, there's no guarantees of income. If you don't do any work, you're not going to make any money, but it doesn't hurt to do a little math. And this isn't magic. This is just math. Okay. Look at this. You build a team of 250, 2,500 customers. Look at that number right there. Over 100 grand just for that. What if you got real aggressive and built a team of 1,000, 10,000 customers total? Okay. What's that? What's going to happen when customers start referring customers? What's going to happen when you have a customer base built because everybody just referred something free to somebody on something they were already going to spend, didn't cost them anything, right? No auto ships. Think about that. And all of a sudden, the mobile service comes out. All of a sudden, the rideshare stuff opens up in their market and so on. It's literally, it's almost hard for you to comprehend. Like you will be embarrassed not to be involved in this thing, looking at it today, if you wait and show up like a year from now, knowing you saw this today. Okay. I'm jokingly saying that, so don't get all offended at anything like that. But let me show you how you can get started. I'm about done here. Okay. We have multiple ways to earn. Okay. We make money on customers. How we get those codes, how we acquire the codes to get customers is we buy those. Okay. We buy those codes. And in most cases, the company always does promos and we can earn more. So you can really stockpile codes which help you to acquire customers. They really have their assets to me. Each code that I acquire, whether it's through purchasing or through earning through promotions, each code is an asset. Okay, that's how I look at it. But we have the ability, if somebody purchases, and we have flight names, basically coach, business, and first class, is with the wholesale. If somebody buys a coach class package, they get 20 of the boomerangs, 10 of the boomerangs, which are the codes. That's what they call them, the boomerangs. And you would, if you got somebody in that bought that package, you'd make 20 bucks off of that if they got into the business and so on. They obviously with these packages, we pay those out as well in what we call a dual team structure. And, I'm not going to go into detail on this because it's very, if you're familiar with it, probably you understand it. If not, it's pretty simple to understand. Is you just have a left team and a right team, and people come in and you make a certain percentage of what that is. Okay. Now let's talk about how somebody can get enrolled. If you want to put your pinky toe in the water, you're coming in at $49.95 and that's it. Okay. I'm just being honest. Okay. You get your customer site to go in there and look around for your own savings. You get 5 boomerangs, which are the codes to get you the customers. You do get the interactive presentation, which I think is awesome. And I'm going to explain that in a second. But the majority of people that jump on board usually pick one of these packages, the coach business or first class. The benefits, though, straight out of the gates from the IGO booking engine, each one increases in value as far as your own personal things you can use to book with. I obviously got the big package, and it literally paid for itself in 90 days from the time when I got involved, because we had a bunch of trips that had come up for business, and we work with some other people and some other things, and it paid for itself just on the savings alone, let alone the whole trip and wedding that I just did in Italy. Okay, it's paid for itself multiple times, just in addition to that. But the other benefit of the coach business at first is you get the 10 boomerangs with coach, 25 with business, and 50 with first class. The other thing in the dual team, you go 10, 12, or 15%, and you can see that in the luxury experiences. You can get more details on this. Okay, there is a $99 monthly subscription fee for all enrollment packs, and coach class is only $49 in certain select countries. So it's very few countries, but we mostly pay the $99.95. Now, the cool thing about the $99.95 is you do get 10 boomerangs a month with that in all of the back office, and you still have access to the IGO platform, the back office management system, the iDecide platform, and so on. Okay, so it's a great way to do that. Now, I'm going to just talk to you for 1 second in closing, not 1 second, but a minute or two. Hey, I'm about right on track here. I usually shoot for about 30 minutes, and I'm almost to the minute on this one. Okay, I want to close with what I believe are 5 very, very important points that I usually talk about when I do conference calls, other videos and stuff like that for people that I've had involved and so on, that I think are the decision makers here. Okay, number 1 is, if you want to know where a ship is going, figure out who its captain is, right? Just logic. Okay, and I would tell you this, don't wait for your ship to come in. Sometimes it's better to swim out to it. But Halton Bugs, like I mentioned earlier, is the utmost in professionalism when it comes to this industry. Like he's on a completely different level. Everybody else, all the other owners I've ever seen in networking, there's some great people in the industry, but Halton's playing chess and everybody else seems like they're playing checkers. Okay, you can look at his track record, you can do some search and so on, and he's been doing some amazing things, and thinks so far out of the box he can't find it in a good way. Okay, he's always looking out for our benefit. Okay, number 2, the travel industry as being our flagship, an $8 trillion industry. That's massive, massive, massive. You don't need too big of a slice, like I said, of a $1 trillion pie to make a lot of money. The third thing I like to talk about is timing. Okay, it's not rocket science to figure out that being in something early before the masses know about it, if you do apply yourself, does give you a competitive advantage. Okay, being 90 days old with nearly 50,000 TSAs and over 300,000 customers, we're not into a super massive momentum yet, but we got some speed kicking. Okay, this train's a rolling, and it's rolling hard. We have a huge event coming up in February that we had almost 6,000 people at the Vegas launch on September 1st of 2019. We already sold that many tickets, and February's not even close yet to the next event. Okay, and these are people from, and we're global. People are doing this all over the world. I mean, you could literally think about this for a second. you have the ability to refer somebody up the street from you who knows somebody. Let's say because I live in the United States. Let's say you talk to me and I enroll in the United States and Ohio. And then I talk to my friend in Canada and they get signed up and they sign somebody up in the Philippines, who signs somebody up in Mexico, who signs somebody up in Australia. You understand what I'm saying? You could literally have a business that the sun never sets on, and you could do it from the comfort of your home. You could literally build your entire business on your cell phone, because that leads me to the fourth thing, systems. Most people ask themselves two primary questions I've seen in all the years I've been doing this. Is it worth doing, and can I do it? Is it worth doing, and can I do it? Well, let's look at this. This presentation I just gave you should at least show you that there's something legitimately worth doing here to supplement your income. Okay, I don't know what I'd have done if I didn't have this business show up to pay for my daughter's wedding in Italy. Okay, she's from here and her husband's from here, but they wanted a destination wedding, and whew, that was a close one, right? Okay, but it happened. Like I didn't have to go into debt for it or anything. Paid as we went. It's all done. It's paid for. I don't have a bill coming tomorrow. Okay, but let's talk about this. The systems. Systems are in place. We have a thing that's called the I Decide, and it was actually one of the reasons that I joined, coming from my marketing background. It's an interactive presentation, and I'm holding my imaginary phone here, okay, that you can actually send somebody a link through your back office that gives them a walkthrough presentation. We call it interactive because it will ask them a question. They click a button, it'll ask them a question, they click another one, and it's a customized journey on what their interest level is. And at the very end of it, it basically says you can choose not interested, want to be just a customer, or I want to join the business. And you follow up with them. I mean, people have given out tens of thousands, probably hundreds of thousands of those texts have gone out with links to those websites, and you get a notification when it happens. As soon as you have somebody on there that's watching it, you get a notification that they're watching it. As soon as they're done and they've clicked one of the answers, the join customer or not interested, you get a notification. It freaks people out when you get the notification, you call them right back, but it's pretty cool. So the number one thing is Halton. Number two was travel. 3 was timing. 4 is systems. And in addition to systems, we've got, there's plenty of other website stuff that we have out there. There's lots of good YouTube videos. There's lots of Facebook Lives that go on a regular basis. But the last thing I think is kind of the glue that holds it all together. I kind of combine two things. It's community and culture. Community is the people, culture is how we do it. Okay. I believe that this company has already established a very good culture of leadership and friendship. Okay. And fun. To say it's fun is an understatement. We just this past weekend, talk about going over the top. On Sunday, after the big Vibe Ride event, well, the Friday launch of the Vibe Ride thing in Southern Florida, okay, and it's only in that market right now. It's only in the Southern Florida market is the Vibe area, okay. You can live anywhere or be anywhere and sign drivers up in there, and you would profit from them, but you can't drive yet in other places. I'm just showing that to you, but. On Friday night, it was like a rock concert. Huge speakers, DJ on the stage, place was going nuts, people dancing. They had this really cool swagged out car that was wrapped with all Vibe, and you should check out the pictures on that. It was fantastic. But then on Sunday, after we had a Saturday event, and then Sunday, we went, 600 of us got it to go on a $40 million yacht. And that was like, insane. DJ on the top deck. I'm talking a decked out $40 million yacht, multiple floors, that just cruised the Miami Bay area right up the shoreline, music blaring, and everybody dressed up in this Great Gatsby theme. It was just amazing. Okay. But that's what's going on. Okay. Now the culture, the community culture, the other thing is the leadership in this company is phenomenal. The experience at the top of this thing, you can put your faith and trust in, has your best interest in mind. Okay. Halton didn't need the money to do this, but he has friends that he believed that there, you know, that we sometimes fall in love with this industry, but there's innovators that can come around and make it better. And I believe I know that's what Halton's doing right now. And you just happen to be seeing this early. If you're watching this live, you are seeing history, and you're watching history in the making. Okay. Like, I've done this exact presentation months ago. And remember I said, you know, I was saying, hey, guys, we've now got 9,000 TSAs in the company and 10,000 customers. And then a month later, we've got 15,000 TSAs and 40,000 customers. These numbers are not going backwards. But guess what? When those customers are taken, they're taken. Just like you can't get me as an Uber customer, you can't get me as a Lyft customer because I already got it on my phone. So here's what I'm going to close with, okay? The person that invited you on here was not crazy, okay? They were excited because they have done their due diligence. They have seen enough information that made sense, and this makes sense. It makes sense. This is absolutely a logical business. We are acquiring a customer base, okay? And we are monetizing them with services that people use on a daily basis. We're just doing it cheaper. And we're just passing on the savings to you in the form of commissions instead of having to pay millions of dollars in advertising. And we're having a tremendous time and a lot of fun doing it, building great relationships, friendships, and so on. Okay. So get back with the person that got you on here. Tell them you want to get started. I would highly recommend you get one of those packages. First class is definitely the way to go, in my opinion, because you get more bang for your buck, you know, in a big way, you know, with travel, the booms, and so on. And just learn some of the simple things. All you got to do literally is, on a regular basis, hand out those, have people watch that I Decide interactive presentation on their phone, give it out there, and you watch what happens over a period of time as people begin to say, this makes sense. This makes sense. Because the buzz is growing, the trains are rolling. Okay. So don't get left behind. So anyhow, thank you guys for being on here. I really, really appreciate you being on here. My name is Mike Healy, and I thank you for your time and attention. And we'll see you on the next videos. Don't forget, if you want to see the replay of this, watch it, or make it, share it in a watch party after it's over. You can do that, and it'll post on your timeline and look like it's being done live again. So get back with the person who got you on here. And I'll tell you this, if you'll do today what others won't, you will live tomorrow like others can't. Thanks, peace, and I'm out.